Nobody chose him. Not because he was difficult, not because he was unkind. They walked past him because of his eye. The left one never fully opened. It had been that way since the morning he first arrived at the shelter. A quiet, permanent squint that made people pause at his cage, tilt their heads slightly, and then move on to the next one. The staff called him Sunny. They said the name started as a joke, but after a few weeks, they all meant it. Because despite the months passing and the families walking by, Sunny stayed exactly who he was. Warm, present, patient. He pressed his nose to the door every time someone came close. Not frantically, just hopefully, like he still believed, after everything, that the right person was coming. But to understand what happened the afternoon Maya walked through those shelter doors, we have to go back to where his story actually begins. Because what she found in the back corridor of that shelter would quietly rearrange something inside both of them, in ways neither of them expected. Sunny came in on a cold Wednesday in November. He was 3 years old, fully grown, with cream and orange fur that caught the afternoon light like something warm left out in the sun. The intake form said stray, but the vet suspected otherwise. His coat was too clean, his temperament too settled. Someone had loved him once, and then, for reasons no one ever explained, he had been left behind. The eye had an old injury, mild, chronic, stable. Nothing that caused him pain, but it gave him a look people didn't quite know what to do with, like he was permanently tired, like he had already seen too much of something. The first month, 4 families came through and asked about him. The first looked at his photo on the board, said, "Oh, poor thing," and adopted a kitten on their way out. The second family's youngest daughter reached through the bars, and Sunny leaned his whole face into her small hand. They left without him. The third couple asked directly, "Is something wrong with him?" The volunteer said no. They thanked her and kept walking. Weeks became months. Sunny watched families come and go. He never stopped pressing his nose to the door when footsteps came down the corridor. He never stopped reaching. And then, on a rainy Tuesday afternoon, 4 months after he arrived, the footsteps stopped in front of him and didn't move on. Maya was 26 years old when she walked into the shelter that day. She hadn't planned to leave with a cat. She had told herself she was just looking. She had moved to a new city 8 months earlier, new job, small apartment, evenings that stretched longer than she expected. She was just still finding her footing. The volunteer walked her through the main room first. Kittens rolled over each other in the enclosures. Sleek cats draped themselves across high perches like they'd always lived there. Maya smiled, kept moving, and didn't stop. Something pulled her toward the back. She couldn't have said what. "Is there anyone else?" she asked. The volunteer hesitated. "There's one in the last row. He's been here a while." Maya walked down the corridor on her own, and there he was. Sunny was sitting directly at the front of his cage, not pressed into the back corner, not curled away from the door, just sitting, looking straight at her, with that quiet, half-open eye and an expression that carried nothing dramatic, no performance, no pleading, just a steady, unhurried look that said, "I see you." Maya crouched down. She didn't tap the glass or make sounds, she just looked at him, and Sunny looked back. Then slowly, he raised one paw and pressed it flat against the door. He held it there. The volunteer appeared beside her. "He does that," she said quietly, "every time someone stops." Maya didn't speak for a moment. Then she asked, "What's wrong with his eye?" "Nothing," the volunteer said. "It's just how he is." Maya nodded. "I'll take him."
And if you've made it this far, you already know why stories like this one matter. Hit subscribe right now. It genuinely means everything, and it keeps these stories coming. The first night, Sunny sat in the center of Maya's living room floor and did not move. He didn't explore, he didn't hide under the bed, he sat in the middle of everything, looking slowly around the room, at the furniture, the light, the sound of rain outside, the smell of her, taking it all in. Maya sat on the floor a few feet away and let him decide. Neither of them moved for a long time. Then Sunny stood, crossed the floor without hesitation, and stepped into her lap. He just arrived, tucked his paws beneath his chest, and settled, like he had been doing it his whole life, like he had spent 4 months waiting to do exactly this. Maya sat very still. She felt his weight and the slow, even rise and fall of him breathing. She didn't cry, but something in her chest, something she hadn't realized was wound tight, quietly came loose. In the weeks that followed, Sunny became something she hadn't planned for, not just company, a presence. He was there in the morning before her alarm, sitting on the edge of the bed, already watching her face. He was there when she worked from home, draped across her notebook like he had opinions about whatever was open beneath him. He was there on difficult evenings, pressed against her side on the couch without making a sound. Maya started talking to him the way you talk to someone who actually listens. And the thing was, he did. He watched her face when she spoke. He blinked at her slowly, deliberately from across the room. She looked it up once, late at night. That slow blink. It means, I trust you. It means you are safe. She sat with that for a long time before she closed the tab. One evening in early spring, Maya came home from the kind of day she couldn't explain. Too many small things going wrong in ways too quiet to name. She sat down on the kitchen floor with her back against the counter and didn't bother getting up. She wasn't crying, she was just done. Sunny appeared from the hallway. He walked directly to her, sat down in front of her, and looked at her face. Then he raised one paw and pressed it against her knee. He didn't purr. He didn't make a sound, he just stayed. And in that moment, Maya understood something she hadn't been able to put into words before. Sunny hadn't chosen her because she was extraordinary. He had chosen her because she crouched down in front of his cage, looked him in the eye, and didn't flinch. That was all it took. That had always been all it took. He is 5 years old now. His eye still doesn't fully open. People still pause when they see his photos online. Is he okay? They ask. Is something wrong? Maya always answers the same way. Not a single thing. Because what those families saw as something to move past, she sees as the most honest thing about him. He has never tried to hide it. He has never performed for anyone. He just shows up, exactly as he is, and waits for you to see what's actually there. That is not brokenness. That is the quietest kind of courage there is. There are animals in shelters right now with something the world has labeled a flaw, a cloudy eye, a gray muzzle, an age that make people keep walking. They are not waiting to be pitied. They are waiting to be seen. If you are thinking about adopting, please slow down before you pass the ones that make you pause. The pause is not discomfort. Sometimes the pause is the whole point. Do you believe the animals hardest to place end up loving the deepest? Or do you think every animal loves the same no matter where they started? Tell me in the comments below.